Sheesh.
Oh!
Oh, man, it's slow.
It's gone. It's gone.
Clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill. I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about it. I'm today's trending topic.
So to chop down his hair, we are going to be using a 8-guard close. So I'm gonna go ahead and run that through. As you can see at this point, there is no return. It's getting cut off, but we're gonna go ahead and take down all the hair to an 8-guard. You're gonna see that his hair is still kind of standing straight up because it's been curly for so long, but I'm running the 8 through to make sure it's all taken down. And now we're gonna go ahead and shampoo his hair, so that way we can go ahead and soften up those follicles and lay the hair down better. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some tea tree oil shampoo, work that in his hair. And now right here I have my shampoo brush. And now we're gonna go ahead and just rinse it out. You wanna make sure that the water is not too hot. You always wanna test it on your inner part of your wrist first. Now we're gonna go ahead and dry it. And you can already see how his hair is just laying down a lot nicer. Now we're gonna use our brush to brush through it as we dry it. And now we're gonna get into the taper. So for the taper, we're gonna go ahead and grab our trimmer and set in our bald line. And he gets a haircut every week, so you're not gonna be able to see the bald line all that well on the back of his neck, but you can see the faint line right there. And I set in that line a little below the bottom of his ear. And now we're gonna go ahead and follow it up with our shaver to get it nice and close to the skin. And now to follow that up, we're gonna come in with our lever all the way open. And you're gonna see me go up about a full inch here. And this client has a really good nape area for a taper, so there's not a lot of indentation. So I want to make sure that I'm spreading this taper out very well, so that way it's a nice and gradual blend. And now to get rid of that line in between the bald and the lever all the way open, we're gonna start with our lever closed. And as we move up in that guideline, we'll go ahead and open up that lever. And that is pretty much getting rid of that line. And now we're going to follow that up with our 1-guard all the way open. And again, we're going to go up about a full inch, covering some surface area on the back of his head. And we're just staying real consistent here. We're brushing as we cut, just so that way the hair is nice and laid down and we have a nice smooth even cut. And now right above that 1-guard, we're going to come in with our 2-guard open, which I forgot to show you. But we're not trying to set a line in here too much. We're kind of trying to flick out as best as possible, so that way it's easier to blend out when it's time. And now to get rid of the line under that 2-guard open, I'm going to come in with my 1.5-guard all the way open. And then you'll see me close that lever as needed if the 1.5 open isn't doing the job. So right there, I went ahead and closed it, and you can already see how that line is starting to lighten up a little bit. And on the left side of his head right here, I'm combing towards his ear because that's the natural direction of his hair growth, as you guys can, if you guys can tell. And now right under that 1.5, I'm gonna come in with my 1/2 guard to get rid of that last bottom line. But I went in with the lever all the way open on that 1/2, but then it wasn't doing anything, so I closed it. And I'm really using the corners of the blade here. That's because I don't want to take off too much hair, and the corners are gonna allow me to detail a lot better and achieve that nice fluid and consistent blend. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab our 4-guard, and this 4-guard is gonna blend into the length on the sides pretty well. We're obviously gonna come back with scissor over comb, but I'm coming in with my 4-guard all the way open here, and I'm kind of coming off the shape of his head. I'm not trying to create any lines here. I just want to blend into that length on the sides. So this is my 4-guard open. And then I'm combing as I do so because it's lifting that hair up. And now under that 4-guard open, for that line right there, I'm going to come in with my 3-guard open. And then I'm going to gradually close that lever just like I've been doing on all the other steps. And you're going to see this taper slowly but surely starts to come together. And we're basically through our steps. Now it's just a time to go ahead and detail and polish everything up. So I'm coming back with my 2 guard here, attacking any dark spots that I see, combing and brushing the hair as I do so. And now I'm coming back to my 1 guard open here, using the corner of that blade, getting into those dark areas. Now we're gonna get into the side taper. So for the side taper, I like to create my bald line where the end of the eyebrow kind of stops, and then where the ear connects to the head. And I'm gonna give it kind of a slope burst shape bald line, because I want to keep the edges of the line up dark, and that's gonna help me to do so. And then I'm gonna hit it with the shaver, because tapers grow back quick, right? So you want to make sure you're giving your client a taper that'll last. And now I'm gonna go ahead and line up the arch before I start the taper. And what this is gonna allow me to do is, when I'm getting into the taper, it's gonna prevent me from making that area too light. So it's kind of like, you know, a reference point in a way. And now I'm gonna come in with my lever all the way open on my lever, right above where I set that broad line, keeping that same burst shape. And now to get rid of that line, I'm gonna come in closed and gradually open that lever as I move up in that guideline. So this is going to be the same exact steps as we did on the back taper, but now it's just in a smaller area on the side of the head. And then we're just continuing to play with the lever, seeing what works and what doesn't. And now to blend into the beard, I'm going to go in open, and then just like I did on the taper, I'm going to go in closed and then gradually open that lever to kind of blend into the beard a little better. And now right above that, I'm going to come in with my 1 guard open, again going up about a full inch here. And you can see what lining up the arch before I started the taper did, because if I didn't line it up first, I would kind of just be guessing where to stop with that 1 guard open, and risking the chance of taking that 1 guard open too far over to where I make the area light, and when I go to line it up, it's just not dark enough. And now right above that 1 guard open, I'll come in with my 2 guard open. And with this, we're not trying to make any lines, we're trying to blend into the length on the sides as best as possible. So I'm really coming off the shape of his head here, combing as I do so, because it's starting to lift the hair up. But you can see how the taper is coming together. And now we're going to come in with our 1.5 under that 2 guard. Right here, I have my 4 guard just like I did on the back to blend into the sides a little better. But you're going to see me bring that 4 guard all the way around, just right above the ear. And this is going to allow for a nice clean nape area lineup. And it's just going to bring the back taper and the side taper together a little bit better, so it's not so bulky behind the ear. But you'll see with that 4 guard, I'm not taking it up really high. I'm just, you know, using it right above where the back of the ear is. And right here, I did the 4 guard open, and I'm coming off the shape of his head. And it basically blended right into the length on the sides, which was the 8 guard. And I believe right here, this is my 3 guard. And I'm just, you know, attacking those dark areas. Now I'm detailing with my lever. Now I'm going to use my thinning shears to go ahead and soften the blend up on the sides a little better. And you'll see as I do so, it makes everything just blend and look more fluid and consistent. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the taper on the other side, and I'm going to follow the same exact steps as I did on the back and on the right side. So on this side, I'm going to let you guys kind of just watch and put the pieces together yourself and see if you know, you learned anything so far. I'm going to let you guys just continue to watch and, you know, put the pieces together yourself. But I wanted to hop on here and talk about the Connecticut Barber Expo, which is happening next month. I think I'm about to slide through there, you know, vlog the whole trip, so on and so forth. But I wanted to ask you guys, do any of my subscribers plan on going to the TT Expo this year? I'm super excited. They got some really big names there. And it's the biggest barber event in the world, you know what I'm saying? So if you are a barber, an upcoming barber in school, I really highly suggest going, because when I was in barber school, that's when I first went to the Connecticut Barber Expo, and it was an amazing experience, just being exposed to people that are on levels that you aspire to be at. So you can just go ahead and feed off the energy, learn as much as possible. And like I said in my other Barber Expo video, man, go take some classes for some of the greatest in the industry. But yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys plan on showing through? Because I know I do. Go ahead and drop a comment down below if you are, and I look forward to seeing you there. So I believe we're towards the end of the taper process. So right here, I believe this is my 2-guard open, and I'm just attacking those dark areas. And now right here, you're gonna really see me exaggerate with the corner of the blade all the way open, and this is getting to those dark spots without taking off too much hair. And now to blend into the sides, just like I did on the other side, I'm gonna come in with my 4-guard open, and I'm coming off the shape of his head here, just trying to blend as best as possible. And now we're gonna go ahead and line up the nape area. So when lining up the neck, I like to start at the top of the ear, and that's gonna prevent me from taking the area up too high. And then I'll go to the bottom and connect those 2 points in the middle, and that's gonna allow me to get that nice round shape without digging into it too much. Now I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same exact thing, starting at the top, and then I'll work my way towards the bottom. And this is really gonna make that taper pop, bring out any imperfections that you need to go back and detail. Now I'm gonna clean up all those hairs around his neck, get that tattoo popping. And as you can see, my man is, you know, feeling the low haircut. He's going back to his high school days. This is my best friend Jeremiah, for you guys who don't know. You know, we had to have a little throwback right quick. And now for the lineup, I started in the middle and I'm moving towards the corner, trying to keep it as natural and as clean as natural while getting it as crispy as possible. My bad. And now I'm moving over to the right side, doing the same thing. And we already lined up the arch, so that's why it looks lined up, but we're gonna go ahead and clean it up just a little bit. And you can already see how the lineup kind of act as the framework to the entire cut. And now let's get into the beard. We're gonna start at the bottom of the beard, and we're gonna try to keep this line as low as possible, but you know, he wants to clean it up a little bit, so that's what we're doing here, letting the weight of the trimmer do the work. I'm not trying to cause too much irritation, especially on the bottom of the neck, or the neck area is a really sensitive area, so I'm being very gentle here. Now we're gonna line up the back of the beard, keeping it as natural as we can, but still getting it clean. And now we're gonna use our shaver to clean up the bottom of the neck. Now we're gonna get into the beard lineup, which is my favorite part. So for the beard, just like in the nape and arch area, I like to start at either the top or bottom. So I'm starting at the bottom here, and then I'll go to the top and connect those 2 points in the middle. And that's gonna allow me to get that nice beard line without digging into it too much, and you know, giving him a chin strap. So I'm gonna clean up the cheek hair there. Now I'm gonna brush away that first initial ash line and then reline it, so that way I can ensure I have the crispiest line possible. And that is the line natural, but we are gonna go ahead and add some enhancements to really make the beard line pop. So I'm using my Elegance semi-permanent, and now I'm using an a brush, right, a paintbrush to apply it. So I'm putting it right on the line, and I'm gonna go ahead and brush it in here in a second. And I want to make sure that I'm not making this too dark. I want to keep it as natural looking as I can. And now I'll go ahead and reline it, and that really takes that beard to a whole nother level. And now we're gonna hit the top of the lineup with the razor to get rid of all those stubbles that the trimmer could not get. But family, this is how my man came in looking. This is how he came out leaving, with the nice 8-guard with the low to mid taper. Family, if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and drop a comment down below. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching. I will catch y'all next time.